Welcome back. Let me get my tablet up and running. Looks like we're live. The series here. I still haven't fixed my OBS. Promise I will. But at the moment, let's run air. Let's run Tailwind. And finally, let's run Redis. Okay. Then, that being said, yeah, I think I'm not liking this clutter. So let's quickly I think I have it only over here. Three-seater context. Yeah, I don't feel like making, because on my day job I actually put it to toggle. Hell, even better, I toggled it only on the files that I need, and I put also the toggle, so I can be elastic when I need it. I kind of know where I'm at most of the time, so it's not like that valuable. On the meantime, I believe we managed to persist the session for lobby. Okay, and fixed score counting, which will then mean okay, Sarah. Yeah, so this stay persistent. Every time they say new game, it will add a new one. So that's great. Same can be said now for now. The thing that we need to ensure is that this happens the same way for our players. So let's get Sarah. This is the lobby. By the way, I don't know if we progress. Yeah, probably should check and just send the progress. That's gonna be tested. Let's make the player side, and then let's make sure that every time that you log both the player and the lobby, you get sent directly here. Guess I make a new window. Okay, so the player will be John, and the lobby will be Fayed. Okay. So that's great. What I'm interested is, yes, this resets. So this doesn't work, which is okay. And we can still go to Fayed. All right. So on this reload, what has to happen specifically? We need to, when a player logs in this case, he needs to set the cookie with its name and lobby. This way I can check. There's a name, there's a lobby, means I know this player, means I'm jumping where this player left. Or actually, I'm jumping to the current question. And that has to be the same. I mean, it shouldn't be that hard to make it for the lobby. So let's first off work on the lobby. Okay, so the master release should not reload, rather keep the same lobby unless you start new game. So that part is happening. It's boiled down to check the cookie, if not create one. For security, technically encode them. I don't know about this. When refreshed, if the lobby exists, I should get the current question, which I don't quite know what. Yeah, I'm going to encode. I guess I'm not encoding it. All right, then. So lobby default cookie. Cookie lobby name, that's great. Game master in the house, lobby return. Okay. So Redis client. Now that we have the cookie, there you go. So the master gets the new connection. The lobby's lobby. If entry okay, we refresh the connection. And now the things that should not happen is the generation of the new lobby. Also, I'm not deleting any lobbies. So that might also, I may also have to decide how long they live. I guess would be that a lobby should be deleted the moment you get to the ending page. So when it's the last question, I should delete it. But in this case, we still can reset, not a big deal. So there it is. When we start game, this will be load first question, which does just that. But this load first question probably should be like load question in general. Just check at which point we are. Where are we at this current moment? Because the leaderboards loads the next one. Where does he get the value? Okay, Redis client, questions question. Data, Redis get background questions, yes. Air, JSON, and Marshall. Get background, answered plus lobby. Did I get around to move the counter? I don't know. What do we have here? I think I called it state. Yeah. Just do stuff on the play to the player. I think I moved everything that's player specific to the player. At this point, we just come everything in the lobbies and periodically keep the save into memories. Yeah, that was the plan. So we have the answer. And the current question. That's great. So this is basically what I was looking around for. But I don't think I'm writing it down every time. So load the first question. So data answered. So this would be, why is it? Oh yeah, we will start with 0. And then this will set it. Okay, so leaderboard. Okay, see the problem with the leaderboard is that I read that function and believe that will load the leaderboard, but the leaderboard load the next question. So possible possible better way to understand this is if I make the leaderboard, which will simply project, and then the next function. So maybe let's sign this over here, because should be refactored doesn't mean shit. I don't know what I'm doing here. Let's do it over here and simply say state split this function into two so that it is evident that we are loading the leader board, and then we load question, e.g. leaderboard load next question. Very well. So that looks great, because now I can project and then load the next question. So load the first one. I believe that now, actually, instead of, there should be like a generic load question. Let's see if there's already. Okay, so there is not a generic load question. Yeah, because I think, by the way, this could also be shared, because at the end of the day, it just returns me the array of the questions. So I can load every one of them and pick for the master and for the player what I need. So there's that part. Okay, so we sign the top. Okay, and load first question, which will be renamed to load question. So Redis, get up the questions. Data get questions. Okay, so this will load the questions. That's why it's called data. It is finally confusing. Like, how do we speak it in a better, like maybe a radius question? But this implies as if the questions are from Redis. Let's maybe call it row questions. Then the row questions are converted into questions. Okay, sounds fair. Move the counter. Okay. That will be moved to this answer. Answered int, and we put the answer. I guess that this doesn't make any sense anymore. But I'm thinking I'm chewing. Okay. Let's just start with saying it. This doesn't make any sense. I doubled up my Redis client for some reason. And this would start with the lobby dot answered. Okay. And it won't work for now, but that's okay. I think breaking code is amazing way to keep progressing. Okay, so we get the row question, we load it over here. I kinda dislike having to watch on the right. Never occurred to me how confusing it is that passing a parameter. I mean, it's necessary, but when I read it left to right, then having to jump in the back, it's not amazing. Like, what do we say? Is this any more clearer if we make it vertical? Kinda. Guess I just have to get used to scan the whole row. Okay, if entry okay, current question. Yeah, that's the deal. So current question is 0 because we load the first one. Yeah, I see. Rather than being that, so rather than fixing it over here, the current question should be request. And that current question should be passed as an argument. I'm sorry about that. I know. I've been writing JavaScript lately. I've been writing but ton of JavaScript. Like really as amount. Okay then, that implies that we are gonna add base score. We're gonna add over here first question, which would comment in that way. Yeah. And now this will load the correct one because we can take a look in this regard. The fuck is going on? Okay, so he wants. So this way we load the first question, but we should also check if start game is not nil, but if cookie that's a good question. How do I does it to nil if there's no cookie? I'm getting call. Because otherwise the cookie.value doesn't give me stuff, right? Should print quickly what the cookie stands for. I can't really because I always have a cookie. I don't know if my if incognito navigation does anything, but I want to check if this cookie exists. Dude, the JavaScript. Sorry, so okay. And let's remove this part of logic. Okay, this is always so annoying. brother. Okay, so this enters. Okay, so that's the default value. Okay, so the cookie looks like it's empty, but my question would be, is it like nil? Okay, so about, I would say that this is consistent with what I expect. The cookie, if the cookie is not nil, so that means that this lobby and cookie not nil, well, can check also the default value. Now the thing about I always have a cookie. So otherwise my lobby don't start. No wait, this would load. You better just starting. Else load question. I feel like this is getting superficial because at the end of the day, it gets started at 0. So it should persist. Yeah, because the cookies can't be nil, otherwise nothing really happens in the correct way. So this is also absolutely useless. I don't have to see. Like when I do the leaderboard, do I get the next question? There it is, current question plus plus. Yeah. And that by default is a 0 value, which means that this is useless. Correct? I believe so. Things are loading. So we're still stuck on Fayed. Let's just add a new game. Okay, that didn't work. Why? Works only if you're here. Bizarre, but okay. So lobby, and let's give it a name. It was John. Okay, looks like something didn't work that well. Okay, let's start a new game. There is no open, no master. Okay, suddenly there are 3 of them. Fucking bitch. Okay. There is no open game. The fuck it isn't. Dude. So-called empty lobby. Like, I really hate this experience with the codes and shit. Okay, so this bug, I'm making a new lobby. Eating stuff. So the lobby is there. I get to see it. The only way that this doesn't work is that the current player is not displaying it. Master. Player. So let's take a look. What's inside my whole new shit? Okay, so the master is nil, which is interesting. Players here, looking sharp. The lobby is not being initialized. The player is connected into my current lobby, but my master lags behind. That's why when we get the second time, we're here. Yep. I don't know why it's twice over, but that's interesting. There's some problem with my logic here. Okay, let's log it out as new lobby, old lobby. No cookie in lobby. Fascinating. So the first time there would be no cookie. But I have to load it twice. That's an interesting take. Why? Is it because of that object? Perhaps. Hmm. I see. That's because I'm not reloading the page. Makes me wonder that at this point if I have to drop the HTMX. Yeah, this is what's happening, the new game. So that would be a swap. I have to capture this moment and make a reload, I guess. But not even a reload, I can just simply make a post to this guy. Be like, yes, a VSSN HX post. Let's take a look at the bar. Yeah, because every time they're playing like first hit does nothing. First reload, it resets the socket. So one way in which, like I think the only way is to trigger this reload. Problem would be like when. Other than when, how do I do this? I could listen to when lobby change. I'll start with that. I guess we're putting it in here, like a script tag. I don't think I'm loading anything else anywhere. Okay. That leaves me with, let's listen. How do we listen to shit? Extensive events mechanism which doubles as the logging system. Okay, if you want to register for a given HTMX event, you can use body load function event. HTMX on HTMX load. Yeah, rather than load, I want to do on swap. The fuck is going on? So there's some way to understand what the bug.js. Okay. Doesn't print shit. Again, doesn't print tick. I hate when Firefox does that. Hey, there's a background update. Could you restart? No. Oh, there's the shit after start. No, after swap. Okay. Let's also print the event. Details. Okay. Alt. Oh, wasn't it? Yay. Very well. Does this object can like access the ID or some shit like that? Yay. So that would make it very easy because I can just check right now if is equal to lobby. Then we can simply say trigger reload. Might be overkill because it feels like that won't load shit. Yeah, that's actually great. So you can just simply say that after swap, probably the easiest thing would be to just reload the page. The other possible way would be to send some kind of information, like an empty information to this. Let's stay with the reload target. So reload page JS. Location.reload. Method of the location interface. So that will end up being location.reload. So the function. See, read documentation. The location interface represents the location URL of the page is linked to. Change done are reflected on an object. Both the document and the window interface, such as link and location, accessible via document location. Document.location. Country properties of undefined. Bruh. Oh, it's okay. So there goes the reload. That would be the easy way. The harder way would be to send something of no importance to our questions. But I think I already went this route. If I try this again, I should have my finger ready to kill the program so that my RAM doesn't get powered down like last time. Because I think I can. Let's take a look at the WebSocket page. So the WebSocket's API. Two-way internet communication session. With the API, you can message to server and receive. The WebSocket provides two alternatives: the WebSocket and WebSocket Stream. Stable, good browser and server support. Doesn't support back pressure. Is the process by a single stream or a pipe chain the speed of reading write? Yeah, I don't quite care. Okay, so the WebSocket provides API for WebSocket connection to server. Use the WebSocket connect structure. Yes, returns newly created WebSocket. Close file when a connection close, error message open. Okay, so that's how you open one. Can you open two web sockets in browser? So I get a PHP library space. Try to use WebSocket on same page. This is my code. Only the page view alert appears. On the server side, no requests are made to session, only to page. Now, if I switch var view page and var around the alert, does this fiddle work for you? Maybe a client-side bug in your JS. Why some free plans hosting provider don't allow you to bind ports, allow you to bind to one port in case bind port. So multiple WebSockets is not possible. In this case, Franchus diff socket is useful. Apart from the HTTP request are at the same time. They hit the same application port, which is server-side application connection different based on HTTP. Run this node. Yeah, I don't know. I believe that you can only create one website connection from a client to a specific port on the host. Have you tried either running the two services on two different ports or on a different server? That's not the limitation. I just tried two different ports and it worked. Very interesting. I wonder why it's the case. IRC, you're opening a connection to a specific port. Fuck, that's IRC, if I remember correctly. Okay. I'm keeping it open, therefore it doesn't make sense to open a second connection to the import. The traffic should just travel to the first connection. Logical chimp. Multiple connections to the port should not be an issue. See how multiple connection. So to emphasize, multiple WebSocket connection to one server port is totally valid. It's possible, same browser may introduce limitation for this. Yeah, so the same way that I believe should be fine, because at the end of the day, why can't you, like, there's no reason for you to not be able to do that. If you think about it, there's a ton, you could possibly receive any number of requests on the same port. Yeah, so there's a good assumption that this port can handle way more data than that. And even if you don't think about that, think about streaming, like right now on Twitch. If a bunch of people, okay, my tablet feels like it's offline. A bunch of people are watching my stream at the moment, which would be me and perhaps somebody who lurks over here. And the same way, both I and you are connected to Twitch. So at some point, at least one more than person connected on the same socket. Therefore, I want to connect and send it to him a message and then close. But let's keep my finger ready. So localhost questions, because I remember how this went last time. Wasn't pretty. So on open, we will send hello server, which will retrigger that state and everything will go fine. Okay. So reload, new game. My RAM's looking solid. Get invalid character age looking for beginning of value. Be this and Marshall over here, right? Uh, so by the way, that also works. I mean, it's kind of cringe, but works great. Can't parse. Let's print this out quickly. The message. See how they differ. Okay, so it looks like I'm not having much trouble. But the problem is that I believe that this lobby right now is kinda dead, I think. Well, this worked. Yeah, probably could just not do this and everything will work fine. I think that this is the play. We hit Papa John, Papa John's, and okay, so this hits something. Can also cancel the message. This way you can see more clearly what the fuck is going on. Okay. So new lobby can parse game master in house. Yes. Yeah, this worked actually. This is loading the next one. This is the one that's not working for some reason. Can parse invalid H. This is where it stopped. Is my leaderboard getting used? I think it is. Maybe that simply is not getting the correct one. Leaderboarding. So half of it is working great. Actually, the new game. Okay, so we are leaderboarding, which is great. Okay, refresh lobby. Fine. This will be like the players. Leaderboard, master write message, text message. Is it because I'm taking... Yeah, might be because I'm taking control of my lobby. Yeah, I think that there's a problem with that. Let's take a look. If that's the deal, then this means... Well, this means that my HTMX in that case is useless. Yeah. Alright, this is a bummer. It's a big bummer, man. Well, the state gets... Like, there's only a tiny step here. Let's say and take a look if I reconnect as John. Okay, so there's one little step extra to be done. But the way in which I'm not loading the page to make sure that this goes through is simply to click a button over here. Because like there's the start game value. Which would be this error. And there's the lobby input. The fuck is the lobby input? I'm not using it for... Okay, no, yes, timeout. The fuck am I using the input for? Well, okay, whatever. So am I at this point? I might be able to just... Oh, okay, so this to understand which part of the lobby were. At this point, I believe the most correct one would simply be to click another button. So see, most of the problem is not HTML, it's not an HTMX problem, they're having the specific socket problems. Like all of this socket works, it feels more like a drag. At this point, I'm just gonna run it like that, but next game that I'm willing to do in like browser game, next time I want HTML game, I think I'm just gonna jump these hoops. I'm gonna stop jumping these hoops actually and just use sockets. Sockets, a little bit of JavaScript, and be done with it. Not that Amazing. One thing that I want to try, just out of curiosity, add HTMX, no, actually add JS stock types here. I'm curious if this works nicely. Doesn't look like it. Maybe my LSP is simply not working here. So the tailwind. Dude, I hate this new UI. I don't understand shit. Rust, go, okay, TS. Yeah, doesn't look like TS is over here. But you have some JS files. Three clients. Okay, so client, HTMX, TS. Mason. Yeah, there's the TypeScript. Should be working. I maybe just don't get so much info. Yeah, don't get shit. Okay. Failed experiment. But one thing that I'm curious is, curious. One thing that I'm curious about is, yeah, looks like brother. So timer ID, it understands that's a number, but that's about it. Okay. So instead of the location dot reload, we will simply do something like that. Type text, type this was a start new game. This would be refresh lobby, let's say. All of that is great. I don't care anymore about the anything else, but I care about this being an ID. It would be like refresh lobby. I wonder if this, let's ask him, can this be closed with auto tag? I believe it's called. Okay, I missed it. Self-contained. It's already self-contained. Usually refers to auto-closing tags, especially for tags self-closing. Self-closing button tag. But if it isn't going to be possible, some few closing are input HR BR image. Okay, so basically means it can't. But okay. So this would make my refresh lobby, and I'm going to simply ignore it. No. So let const refresh. Don't even need to do that. Like document dot get by id, get element by id. I believe it's a doc method. Yeah, document get element by id. Refresh lobby dot click. I think we can click it regardless. It's sure. Okay. This is an old lobby. Look like it didn't get clicked. Okay, let's do this. Let refresh lobby. Console.log. Oh, right. We're in the client. So that's nil. The good old. Yes, of course. It needs to wait for the load. No, the fuck I don't. I mean, I need to wait to load. I'm in here. Like over here. Fuck, I don't need to wait it. Well, I mean, if that's what we get, must be it, but Yep. What about now? What if I dump my document? Can I dump my document? Interesting. Never. Refresh. Son of a bitch. Refresh. Skill issue. Hardcore skill issues. Okay, there it is. So that would be refresh.click. No cookie. On lobby. Huh. So the click doesn't get me anywhere. Click button with JS. Could just wanna you just launch click. Get by ID click. Yay. And my refresh lobby is here, so Disappointing to the max. Absolute failure. I swear I'm gonna cry if this is true. Oh man. No, it's a West End, I have it. I'm confused that it doesn't do shit. Yeah, so that's okay. When I hit this, when I hit Sarah, this does shit, you know? Interesting. Wait, wasn't it some kind of bullshit? I remember there was some kind of bullshit about the IDs. There was at some point some kind of need for the IDs. But I would guess that this works. This pretty much works. Right? That goes. West and there classes are not important. We have the form, the type, we have the name, we have the value, hidden, whatever. Unless it's because I'm simply not printing anything out without. No, okay, there's the game master in the house. So that's old game, new game, no cookies. No cookies in lobby. So that's getting print, but not this game master in the house. Which basically mean like that, game master in the house, all lobby. Oh well, this won't be print because my connection is open. Correct. Great idea. We are getting info. So maybe I'm simply not hanging. Okay, we are getting info. Great. I need to refresh this connection because otherwise it won't do this bullshit here. Yep. Womp womp. Like, see, there's so much. Which by this point, new game simply will reload the page. There's no need to get crazy about it. If I need to reload the whole page, I just need to reload the whole page. unless I make the conscious decision to just check result, not refresh. Refresh lobby, I think it was called. Yep, refresh lobby. Unless I'm making this specific reasoning, and now that we know that this happens, we can do the fuck am I? Oh, different union. And now that I make this specific effort, it's a little bit of copying, but makes enough sense. Is there anything that has to happen over here? I don't believe that this has to happen. So by that metric, console, log that. Refreshed. EFDQ, no. Oh yes, because the lobby value doesn't get sent. Oh well, oh well, oh well. That can be corrected. Hmm. Okay, so the type is here. Now, the fuck do you mean? It's not a string. Oh yeah, because this needs to be unmarshaled. Bruh, wait a second. Oh yes, because I'm only changing one. It should be the first one. Second one is not being loaded. Yep. Pretty sure that's how this works. The value is empty. So the first value is fine. The second value is not being updated because it will always the fuck. Okay. Yeah, the second value won't be updated because I'm not updating it. Simply as that. Okay, this is bizarre. Well, then this ends up being like that. Of lobby refresh. Yep. And we copy this once more. Okay. And over here, this becomes lobby refresh. We're about 180 here. And yeah, so at this point, we will, I don't know when, now this would be loaded correctly. But wait, actually want. Well, it's not like I can't set it. Actually, very much so I can set it. Like, so that's there, no? We want to pick it up in the same way. Yep. And we want to put input.value equals to, actually old, this is the new. Okay. And the fuck is your problem? Okay, so my LSP is getting crazy. My LSP is acting odd. Okay, then old dot value equals new dot value. Oh, son of a bitch. Okay. And now we click. And by this metric, we simply wait, but this time we simply have to say lobby is result, but this stuff dot string. Think we're having tiny HTML problems. Let's also print the value. Value. So it looks good now. How to change value of input using JS. Yeah, let's change this kind of bit fast and then, okay, so get element put value. I can deal with that. So all dot set attribute value lobby dot value. Son of a bitch. Isn't this after the swap? Okay, let's make it. So let's say comment a little bit. Lobby persist, need to refresh. Needs to refresh the socket. Could have just made a to-do quickly here. The socket must be reloaded after making new lobby. Honestly, at this point, I'm gonna try to like when I get to stream again, I'm gonna try to fix it a little bit. If like after 50 minutes I'm not getting anywhere, I'm just gonna reload the whole page and be done with it. There's no reason to get too cut up. So thanks for sticking around, and I will see you perhaps Monday. Hopefully Monday. Monday for sure. I don't know any other day.